Hey everyone, it's February and we're about a month away from Pi Day. It's not a huge holiday, but a lot of t-shirts are sold on this day or for this day. And I see a lot of these designs with the spiral, like these right here. And I wanted to show you how you can make this in Affinity by Canva for free. So let's get into Affinity right now. Let's not waste any time. I'll show you all the magic tricks on how to do it. And you can use this for Pi Day or any holiday where you want to put numbers or letters in a spiral. Alright, so here I am in Affinity, Affinity by Canva. I'm using the vector part of Affinity, so click on that right there. I just made a new artboard. This is 4500 by 5400. You can see it right there. I show all the time how to do that, but basically just hit new and do 4500 by 5400. I dragged in these just as examples so you can see some of the different ways they do spirals. So here's a tight one, here's a more loose one, here's just the same colors, here's lots of different colors. And you notice some of them go from bigger to smaller, like this one right here and this one right here, but some of them have just all the same size. So I'm going to show you how I would do all of these. And first thing we're going to need is the pi symbol. So we have the text here, so I'm just going to do text. So click on this artistic text tool right here and just type right here, and you can type in an A. So just just type in A just for now, just so there's something there. And I'm going to double click on this. Right now it's Cooper Black. I'm going to change it to, I think I'm going to go to all here. And I don't know if you'll have this, but I have an Arial rounded. Where is it? This one right here, Arial rounded, empty bold. And then I can go to my glyphs panel. If you don't have a glyphs panel, there it is right there, glyph browser. You would go to window, and then one of these I think is the text, yeah, glyph browser right there. So you click on there, you can see mine's checked. If yours isn't checked, then that's what you'll have to do. And then just highlight this, and you can scroll over this. I'm just going here and I'm scrolling with my scroll wheel on my mouse, and I'm just going to scroll down till I find the pi, and there it is. You see it right there? Double click on it, and there you go. I don't have to draw it or anything. It's actually text. So I'm going to move this up here. It's hard to see because it's black on a gray. I can right click on my background and make it light gray if I want to. So there you go. Okay, this is where the magic happens for the spiral. There's actually a shape for this. So I'm going to go here it's in this rectangle tool usually. So click on the rectangle tool, you see all the different options, and spiral tool is one of them. So just click there, and I'm going to draw one just right here like this, and I'm going to move it with the move tool. Just right here so you can see it. And I'm going to have to go back to the spiral tool because there's some options that you can do. So spiral tool, click on it, and you'll notice up here there's a bunch of options. So we'll go over a bunch of them. So first, this is fill. I don't need to fill it. I also don't need the stroke on it. And this is the stroke right here. How thick do I want it? I actually don't need a thick stroke because we're going to type on it, so it doesn't matter. So it can be 0. You can make it 1 if you want to see it, or whatever size you want. But as soon as we click on it with the text tool later, the stroke will go away. Next thing here is I can save things. So I can go here and create a preset. So whatever I make here can be saved, so I don't have to do it again. This one I went over it quickly, but this is editing the stroke settings. Again, we're not going to use those settings, so it doesn't matter. Here is the different styles of spirals. So linear is the one we're seeing. Decaying, you can see how it kind of goes in. That's kind of like this one right here, these where it starts big and gets smaller. The next one is semicircular. So you can see it's kind of a weird shape, not exactly, it kind of comes into the middle. You can see it looks a little different. This one's counter semicircle. So it kind of goes in and then comes back out. So we don't use that one. This one is called Fibonacci. So you know the Fibonacci sequence where it gets, there's this math where it comes in smaller and smaller. Kind of like the golden ratio. You might have seen that video I did there. And then this one is plotted, so it kind of just goes kind of not as a circle, got more corners on this one. So we're gonna stay either linear, or I say decaying would also work. So let's do linear first and we can come back and change it. We also have clockwise or counterclockwise. So right now I think it's on spiral clockwise. I can change it to spiral counterclockwise. You can see it's going, if we start from here and go outward, I think that's what that is. And then this one is more of a square. I'm gonna use, oh, I see. It can either be circle or square. There we go. I like the circle one. And I would like it, most of them are going this way. And that's what this one is doing. So let's do that. This is counterclockwise. And then we have how many turns do we want it? So we can see here, the more turns, the tighter it is, the less turns, not as tight. So I think maybe 4 or 5 is probably good. Percentage, we can also kind of make it smaller or bigger this way. We have arc angle, 90 degrees or more, you can see, kind of twisting really weird spiral. So I wouldn't play with that too much. Inner radius, you can see it goes in and out. All right. Oh, what did we do here? Oh, okay, good. And then let's see what else we have on inner radius. And these other ones we don't need to worry about. So I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna make it bigger. And let's make it about like that. Okay, the next thing we're going to need to do is get digits of pi. So I'm going to go to the internet because I haven't memorized the 100 digits of pi. I could type it all out like this, but it's a lot easier to just copy and paste. So I'm going to go to the internet right now. I'll show you how to find the 100 digits of pi, thousands digits of pi. We'll probably need somewhere in between 200 to 500 digits. And that's what we'll do. All right, so I just went to Google here. I did digits of pi, and there's a bunch of them here. I'll do this math tools. I've done that one before. You can see first 100 digits of pi. You can go 1,000 digits of pi. Oh, add 1,000 digits of pi. You got 10,000 digits of pi. I'm going to do 1,000 right here, and only do about half of it. So I'm going to do these first 4 lines like that. Highlight it. Hit Command C. Or I believe in PC it might be Control C or Option C or Alt C. Could be Alt C in PC, but Command C in a Mac. And now it's saved to my clipboard. I'm going to go back to Affinity and paste this into the spiral. All right, so I'm back here in Affinity. I'm going to do the type tool here again, artistic type text tool. Click on that, make sure that's selected. Come here and click on the spiral. You can see it changes from an A to a T with a line under it. Click on that right there. Hit Command V to paste it. It's probably too big. Yeah, I have it at 52 here. Let's undo C. Let's just type a A here. I'll do select all, and let's do a smaller font to begin with. Let's do 12. Okay. Now I can double click on here. Whoops. I'm going to zoom in. There's my A, is so small. It's highlighted, so now I can hit Command V to paste. There it is, the 200 or so digits of pi. So I'm going to zoom back out here. And it's very small right now. So I'm going to double click on it, select all of it, and then see how big I need to make it for it to get bigger and bigger and get to the end. That looks like about right, 24. So I can do that. And there you go. So this is the digits of pi. Let's zoom in here. Oh, it started here. So what I'm going to do is, we want it to start here instead. So I'm going to flip it. You can see this right here is reverse text. I'm going to click on that. And now 3.14 is starting there. Now it's a little small and there's a lot of space here. So one thing I could do is I could erase some of the numbers. So I could come back here and erase some of these like that. and then make it bigger. So select all and then make it bigger to the size that I want. Whoop, that's too big. Let's see the next one, 36. Let's see. And we're gonna have to play around with it. Whoops, that's still too big. So I think I still don't want that many numbers. Let's see, I'm gonna erase some more. Oh, it switched, did it switch it again? Yeah, 3.14 in there. Whoops. We're gonna have to switch this out again. There we go. And then let's get rid of some of the numbers again, like this. Good. And we're gonna just have to play with it. Like, how big do we want? I kind of want it to be a lot bigger, like these right here. But let's do a little bit smaller. Delete there. Now, one thing you can do is start making some of this smaller and some of it bigger. So that's what I'm going to try and do here. You notice this one is all the same size. So what we could do is these right here are 30 points, right? It says right there. So I'm going to just take some of those first ones, and I'm going to highlight a bunch right here after it and make that 35 points, or 40. Let's try 40. And then hit enter. You can see just a little bit bigger there. And then we highlight after that, maybe just a bunch like this, and make it 50, like that. And this is done manually. There are scripts that do this, but I didn't find one in Affinity. So if you know of a script that does this automatically and can do it faster, then let me know. But I'm going by 10 here. I shouldn't have double clicked on it. I just need this to be 60 now. You can see that. And then I take the next chunk like this and maybe make that 70. Whoops, too big. Oh yeah, it's too big here. Let's get rid of some of these then. $70 here. Oh, it's too big again. Dang it. I guess I should have picked a smaller number. All right, let's do this. Boom. And so on. So I'll just keep doing this so you don't have to watch. I'm going to go 70, 80, 100 until I get to this bigger one here. I feel like 70 is probably the right size. Let's see what 780 looks like just for a little bit here. Yeah, 80 looks like it's about the right size. So maybe I start with 80 here and come in and around. So I'm going to do that off screen. I'm going to start with 80 and then go backwards and make it smaller and smaller as we get closer and closer to here. All right, so here we have it back. I just did these so you can see I did a bunch of them at 80 and then I went down to 75 and then 70 and then 65 and so on, just by fives. I think doing it by fives kind of gives it a better illusion than by 10. So you can do whatever you want there. Again, a lot of these are on black, so what I would do is I would change the background here to black. Let me get to my color spot. So put the fill as black here, and then you can click on this and make the numbers white here. And no stroke. And if you're really patient, you can come in here and color each one like this one did, and do like maybe pick 4 or 5 colors and then just alternate all the way down to get that color one. I'm not going to do that in this video, but I'm going to put this right here, the pie, I make that white because it's text. I can make it whatever color we want here. Boom, and then make it small enough to fit in the middle here. Boom, there you go. Now you can try this with different ones here. So we can still go to the spiral and instead of linear, try the decay. And I think there's just too many numbers there. So let me do how many turns here. Nope, that didn't work. Let me try semi. Yeah, there we go. There's a semicircular one. That kind of worked. And we can take the turns down here. So you can still play around with it. I could have done the decay if I was gonna do less numbers. I think it doesn't work with that many, even with that many turns, because the decay kind of decays really fast. So it didn't work on there. You have to use less numbers than I used here. But you can play around with this here and kind of look at that, and then kind of make it come in. Maybe different turns here, right? There we go. We can do that and see how that works. So have fun with this. This is one way to do it. You can make it tighter too if you want to. Just make the numbers a lot bigger. And you can see this one right here is an example of one that's super tight right here. So you can play around with that and have a lot more ways to do that. So I would suggest do your spiral first and then add your numbers. But as you see, it's kind of a hit and miss game where you have to know how many would fit in there. So it takes a little bit of time, but it turns out really cool. Now, if you want to knock this out, you can also do that in there by just having something bigger like this and then knocking it out as you group things together. So let me see if I can do that real quick. I'm going to move this out here and let's try and make this a little tighter. Let's go to the spiral and I'm going to make it like that. But then we're going to add a lot more numbers. Let's just say there's all these numbers here, not letters. I'm going to do the same number over and over again. I know it doesn't repeat, but let's just do something like that. Copy, and then just, whoops, just so we have some numbers in here. So make sure you use the right numbers of pi. Okay, so there's that, and we have this over here. Now this could be black, right? And of course you want it a little tighter, so I would make the fonts bigger too, not that. But as you get it tight right here, you'll notice these two right there. I'm going to group these, this one and the numbers, group it, and then make sure that the pi, this one right here, is erased. So I erase it, and even if this is not a black t-shirt, you can see the pi stands out. So have fun with that. Of course, you're going to have to make the fonts a little thicker like this one as they touch closer, but make sure you get the right numbers in here. You can get 1,000 numbers of pi on the internet, and there you go. That's how easy it is to do a spiral with Affinity. It has everything you need to do anything like this, and have fun with it. I think you can get creative, and it doesn't have to be for Pi Day. You can do this for birthdays. You can do this for anything with numbers, really. Or letters even. It could be a word, a long sentence that comes in here. Maybe it's a poem, a famous poem that's not trademarked or copyrighted. You could put it in here and do something really fun. So have fun with this. I think this is a great way to learn how to use some of the tools in Affinity and can make a great t-shirt design. So there you go. That's how you do the spiral design in Affinity by Canva for free. It has all the tools that you can do in there. Have fun. Do this before Pi Day. Make some fun ones that's not already there. Don't copy what everybody else does. Do your own take on it, and hopefully get some sales this Pi Day and future Pi Days. Thanks again for watching. Hopefully this video is helpful. If you want to see another video where I do a tutorial in Affinity by Canva, I'll put my latest one right here so you can learn how to use this tool that's absolutely free. And as always, keep creating and keep learning. I'll see you on the next one.